Welcome back to Mywayoffthehwy. In this episode, we keep travelling north out of Cooktown along the Endeavour Valley Road. We pop out to the east towards Elim Beach. Now we don't get far in this episode because once we get to Elim Beach, we find out how spectacular this place is with the most amazing sunsets you're ever going to experience in your life. So tune in, stick around, and I'm going to show you why you should pop out to Elim Beach next time you head up to the cave. I'm not sure yet what's the name of this beach. We will find out. I'll put it on the screen.
We're at Elim Beach.
Elim Beach, but this is a different point. Coloured Sands, that's it. We're at Coloured Sands. So you can drive onto the beach here if you want to. We chose not to, it's salt water. There's no real creek crossings on the way out to wash the salt off before we get up to the Cape. So we opted to just pull up the top of the hill and walk down. Hi. So Coloured Sands, the tide does go out. It goes out about 300 or 400 metres apparently. It's only about 100 metres from what I can see, so it must go out a long way. The ruins of someone coming unstuck are up on the beach here. Most of the four-wheel drives here get flipped over and the wheels get taken off and the petrol gets drained once they are abandoned. And you don't have to abandon your vehicle for very long for it to end up like this. Unfortunately in outback Australia, if you break down and then get a ride to somewhere else or go and fetch parts and come back to your vehicle if it's been left by itself, it's quite often that you will find it on its roof with no wheels and no fuel. So it's important to leave someone with the vehicle if you do break down and you're trying to go and get everything you need from a town.
This thing is in my head. I can't make you understand. Oh, 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 I gotta shut it off. I gotta shut it off.
When you come down to Coloured Sands, make sure you don't just go for a drive along the beach. Check out the sand dunes and the pinnacles as well. We've just pulled up to Elim Beach, which is a bush camp kind of setup north of Cooktown. So there's a fair few people camped here tonight, but it's still big enough where you've got plenty of space and you still get a camp to yourself. So it's not like the usual caravan type of setup. It's owned by an Aboriginal elder, I believe, who are very welcoming when you get here, very friendly and very knowledgeable of the local area. So we've just, on the way in, we helped a few locals that were bogged. We pulled them out, we ended up having to snatch them out because we couldn't winch them out. So we've just washed our snatch straps and recovery gear over at the taps at the homestead here. It's all hanging up on the trees to dry, which obviously you should be doing if you use your snatch or your recovery gear and it gets dirty. Set up camp quickly. We've kept it pretty simple for tonight because we're going to move on in the morning, so just rooftop tent up. We haven't worried about the awning. We've got the table, we'll put the LED lights up later. We've got some wood on the way in because every bush camp you usually go to, the wood has been taken for at least 500 metres, so it's always a good idea to get wood on the way in. We're going to head for a walk down the coast now, have a look at the beach. Obviously no swimming, it's croc territory. So we'll go down, we might even flick a lure in and see if we can catch a fish for tomorrow night's dinner. Elim Beach is home to the famous Coloured Sands, and the Elim Beach campground is owned by Aboriginal elder Eddie Demar. It's a picturesque spot right on the water's edge with spectacular views to Cape Bedford, and it's the perfect place to set up base camp for a few days whilst you explore the local area. The nearby dunes of the Coloured Sands are 300 metres walk along the beach, and driving on the beach is only accessible by four-wheel drive at low tide. The drive from Hopevale out to Elim takes about an hour on unsealed roads, which wind through the white silica sand hills and have a few big potholes to catch out unsuspecting drivers.
Make sure you pick up a camping permit or check in with Eddie at the homestead on your way into Elim Beach and obey all fire and beach camping restrictions to preserve the environment. If you're fascinated by colourful skies, beaches and cliff faces, then stick this place on your bucket list. It won't disappoint.
We're going to light a fire using a bit more traditional method tonight with a flint instead of matches. I like to practice that every now and then. So I've just got some paper bark that I've pulled off the tree, some small sticks and some larger sticks, or some larger branches. So we're just going to rip the paper bark up, give it a good ruffle in your hand, just to make it finer fibres and break up the fibres. And then, actually enough. So we're just trying to light a spark onto those finer fibres. So it's important to just build the fire, make sure you allow it to have plenty of air. Once you've got it lit, just cross the sticks over and then just build the thickness of the sticks up until you get to the size wood that you want to burn for the night. Make sure you keep it around the fire clear. If you're around a high dry grass area or leafy area, make sure you dig a hole in a fire pit to make sure that the fire stays contained.
Next episode on My Way Off the Highway, we keep pushing north through Lakefield National Park to Old Laura Homestead. Please hit the subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. You have no idea how a small gesture and a little bit of support from you can help me build my channel. As we get closer to the most northern tip of Australia, we've got a whole lot more forward driving coming up. Lots of river crossings, heaps of bog holes and a whole ton of windshield. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching.